So yeah, welcome back to Remote Explorations, guys. This is me, Sinjan again, and this time I have come up with something I would say very interesting, and also something which you all could be a part of, like being a part of my own research. So as you all know, my YouTube audience, I have been, what should I say? I am currently a part of Sciastra, and everyone knows Sciastra, a great educational platform which provides courses for research based institutes. So if your child or you want to make a future in research, so do go join Sciastra. So being a part of Sciastra as a personal mentor, Sciastra has also certain perks, one of which is scientist ki pathshala, where students or probably most commonly mentors who have or who are currently working on some project, some research based project, are instructed or probably are said to share their research based project with the audience, with the students who are a part of Sciastra. So the golden opportunity of sharing the thing with the Sciastra community came to me this Sunday at Scientist Ke Pathshala, where mind meets molecules, AI at the front line of medicine. So this is basically my topic of research, which I am very interested and what should I say, probably very enthused and very interested about. So yeah, that's all. Then the video starts just after this introduction. So small introduction to just put you on the track for 1 hour of
Our
complete
guest is Sinjan.
reimagination of
So
medicine,
he is
reimagination
from
of
IMA
robotics,
Bhubaneswar.
reimagination of
Okay, until last year he
artificial
was our
intelligence, and most
ISICMI
importantly
course student,
reimagination of the medical
and now
world,
he is with us
something
helping
which
other
is
students to get their admission
creating
in
a
their dream
revolution.
college. Okay,
AI,
so I
which
will
is
call
something
Sinjan,
creating a
and
revolution in the
Sinjan,
medical
you can
world.
start.
So yeah,
You can
I
share your
hope you enjoy
screen.
it.
We will keep the Q&A section at the end. So if you have any doubts or you want to ask anything, just keep it till last. We can do this in last so that the session can be done more. Yeah, thank you. Sinjan, you can start.
Just give me 2 minutes. Just changing your food. Is my screen visible? Hello? Is the screen visible? Cool there. So, as Anshika Didi has said, my name is Sinjan. So, I am currently a first year student going into second year at IMA Bhubaneswar, Institute of Mathematics and Applications Bhubaneswar. So, my interest always has been to do something in the fields of mathematics and computing. And this is basically a research project which I did for one of my, should I say, international conference which happened at a college. So I prepared this for that, and after that, gradually my interest in this field grew. So my interest in this field, let me just give you a brief idea about this field. This field is basically the intersection of AI and medical world. As you can see from the title, medical imaging and AI, the future of medical world. So medical imaging and AI, the future of medical world. This I chose this domain because or the main thing is it actually intercepts the main focus of my research of my mind, that is what should I say, the medical world, mathematics and computing. So without a further ado, let me just get on with this, since this thing is going to take a bit of your understanding, since you all are students right now. You do not, maybe you know, but you haven't ventured yet into this field. So yeah, and also other than that, I also love teaching guys, like for preparing up for entrances related to mathematics and other examinations. So you can check out at my YouTube channel, X-plorations. Yeah, let's get started. So the table of contents. I think we'll be starting with how Indian doctors are in comparison to the world. The curious case of Indian doctors, the radiologists, AI and its usage, and gradually things will be falling into place. So once I starting with Indian doctors, many of you might come from a family of doctors, and I myself come from a family where my grandfather was a doctor. Obviously, my parents have been doctors, so yeah, my interest grew in this field gradually. So yeah, the curious case of Indian doctors. Basic question to everyone: do you know how many patients are treated by one doctor in India?
$500,000.
Sir, about
500,000.
sir,
Say
about 300 per day.
how many? How much?
300.
No, unfortunately, no. So yeah, who recommends? The World Health Organization recommends a single doctor for 1,000 patients, and in our case, an average for India stands at one doctor for 11,082 patients, which is huge, beyond our imagination. No doubt, millions of people around our country are left untreated. So you can see I have a state-wise list gathered up showing the reality which the crisis which our Indian doctors and Indian medical facilities are facing. So starting with Bihar, 28,391 people per doctor. So basically, if you become the doctor, you will be in charge. You will be taking care of the treatment of 28,000, over of 28,000 patients, which is actually beyond our imagination. So ultimately,
Sir,
we have got, yes, sure.
this is a data of per day.
This is an average data. This is not a per day or per month. This is just a basic census has been seen, and based on that, this is the average which has been calculated. This you can actually take it to be a per day data, but this I won't be giving you a surety. This is a per day data, but this is the average thing. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Moving forward, so you can very well see how the things are decreasing. So the recommendation by who is one doctor for 1,000 patients, but the state Arunachal Pradesh, which has probably the best ratio of doctor and patient, is standing at 2,417, which is much greater than what the WHO recommends. So entire case
Sir,
study.
In this session, you will be also discussing about medicine.
I won't be discussing about medicine, but I will surely be discussing about how. See, my focus has never been on, what should I say, completely medicine, but my focus is and has always been on how AI, how artificial intelligence can help on medicine. So yeah, at some point I will be discussing medicine.
हिंदी में समझता ना बोला तो आसन मुझे तू कैसे देंगे बताओ तो यार
So moving forward, so India's doctor population ratio is among the lowest in the world of medical doctor per 10,000 population, as we have seen. So our country's population, like the doctor population ratio, is obviously among the world's lowest, which is not a very good sign. Where USA, Cuba, a country like Cuba, which has probably very low development rate than us, they also stand at a higher position when it comes to the doctor population ratio. So yes, the situation is dire and needs a change. Radiologists. So my focus on today's presentation will be based on radiologists. So who are the radiologists? Anyone?
Sir, they are the specialized
For
doctors who
medical
just
imaging,
Yes, medical imaging. So one term I heard from you, medical imaging. So that is what I will be focusing my today's paper on. Medical imaging. So basically, radiologists are the doctors who take part and who specialize in the medical imaging department of anatomy. Reality of the radiologists in the world. Again, since doctors and radiologists are specialization, since our country is facing a problem with the doctors itself, then obviously it's bound to have facing problems with the radiologists also. As you can see, the US and across most of the Europe, people have access to 100 plus radiologists per single million residents. So per 10 lakh residents, we are getting around 100 plus radiologists. Contrast to this with countries such as Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Paraguay, and Pakistan, where it is reported that there are less than 10 radiologists per lakh inhabitants. So again, our country, as you can see up here, is falling in this region, which is again, if you look at the color code, a very bad situation. Change of that situation needs reasons for the shortage of radiologists. Important case, why a radiologist is short in India, or this is basically a case of the world itself. The first one is aging population. Second one is not enough trainees and lengthy training times. So radiology is basically a facility which is yet being, like researched upon, and new strategies are being emphasized on to make people take radiology as a career option after they have done their normal course or probably the MBBS course. So basically not enough trainees and lengthy training times. That is because we do not have proper facilities related to radiology. Vacancy rates are increasing and we have an aging talent pool. Same reason. And the next one is around half of radiologists report burnout. Now, burnout is basically, like when we study for a long time, obviously we feel burned out. So I'm sure you will be knowing the feeling of being burnt out, like you won't be in the mind, in the proper mind to do anything. You probably sit in front of the books. So that is what radiologists feel. Now, why do radiologists feel burned out? Radiologists feel burned out due to 3 to 4 main reasons. First of all is the proper use of facilities is not done for the radiologists. Number second is the lack of radiologists, since if there is a lack of limited resources are there for certain thing, obviously the resources are going to be felt burnt out. The third one is proper technology is not there, and the fourth one is proper instruments. The radiology is a high-end technical facility provided by hospitals and everything. So since all of a sudden you go for treatment and you won't be recommended to check with the radiologist. So radiologist comes when the doctors feel helpless. So they are basically the aides of the normal medicinal doctors. So yeah, where can AI help? Why next and the most important, where can AI help? AI can help the radiologists. We are very clear with that. or probably AI can help with anything. In today's world, AI can help with anything and everything, except obviously making a dead person alive. It can probably do everything. Where can medical AI help? So this is what you see, a basic map of how things happen in a hospital or probably in a medical care. We just make you go through this once. So we have the patient. So probably you go to a hospital, you are the patient. You first of all get yourself treated from a doctor, and the doctor you see to make sure that his treatment, his way of treating the patient doesn't go wrong, takes the help of images, takes the help of scans and everything. You just make sure his diagnosis is right. So what do? The doctor instructs you to go to the medical lab, since everything other than normal treatment is done in the medical lab. So you go to the medical lab, you are put under a process of medical imaging. Or medical imaging, something like X-ray or CT scan or MRI or USG, anything is obviously a part of medical imaging. So the medical imaging is done by a radiologist. So radiologists are the doctors who specialized in the radiology. The radiologists conduct the medical imaging. They provide the radiological report to the doctor. The doctor, what does it do then? It identifies what disease are you suffering from or what disease are you caught with. The disease you are caught with requires a specific type of treatment and a specific type of diagnosis, which is again done by the doctor. So this is basically what the total thing goes inside a medical facility. So from you going to the hospital, to you getting treated, this is what happens in the back end. So AI comes up and increases the precision and speed of this process. Which process? The process which has been rectangularized in red color here. See, medical imaging, radiologist and doctor. This process, this interconnection, this map is where medical AI can help. Advantages of using AI. Why will I be bringing a person which is not, or why will I be bringing a system is not controlled by any person, or probably it is controlled at the back end by one person, but obviously something which is not controlled by a person can go rogue at any time. So why to use it? We use it for, since it benefits us, in simple language, it benefits us. And how does it benefit us in this world? So detection at an early stage when the disease has not yet settled in the host. Cancer is something which people obviously aren't able to understand during its initial stages, unless and until they undergo some scans or something like that. So obviously, cancer, I am going with cancer. There are many various diseases, but since cancer is a thing tough to diagnose, I'm going with that. So we all know there are different stages of cancer, and as stages increase, the severity increases and the chances of removing it decreases. So people are not able to understand cancer until and unless it is gone to probably stage 2 or stage 3. What if AI comes and helps you? The models the cancer-related AI uses, the imaging it does, it helps with the detection at an early stage, probably as early as stage 1. So you are ready to diagnose the thing when it hasn't even settled in. That is one primary importance why AI can be used. Next is interpretation of the disease in a more proper way by proper analysis of complex images. Now, we all know visuals are able to help us more than text. Same thing goes for YouTube. Obviously, you see something in textbook, and if the same thing is given to you in a visual or probably in a audio video format, you will be able to understand it. Very common thing to understand. So interpretation of the disease in a more proper way by proper analysis of complex imaging. So once a person does the imaging of the affected person, we'll be getting an image. Now, obviously, our human eye has the power to see an image or to understand the image to some extent. Not completely, but to some extent. But when you put in instruments, now I would be going for camera. Just let me say you the example of camera. So our human eye obviously captures a photo. We all know it remains in the memory for some time before getting vanished away. Now I want to click the picture of a moon. We have cameras. We have the human eye. The human eye is probably often called as the best form of the camera. So yeah, you see the moon, you understand the moon, but can you actually decipher what is going on, or probably what are the spots or something around the moon? Obviously, it's not visible to the naked eye. That's where camera comes in. You click up the photo of the moon with a 100 megapixel or probably 70, 80 megapixel camera, and you are able to see what is probably the spots on the moon in front of your eyes. That's the power of camera. The similar way AI helps us. It helps us to analyze complex images. It helps us to see what the naked eye is never able to see. Facilitated and personalized treatments varying from patient to patient. Now, once AI is done with the proper analysis of the images, AI understands what is happening, comes in and facilitates the treatment varying from patient to patient. Now, obviously, for a human, it's not possible to probably see and understand and go into deep of each and every patient, whatever he's suffering from. After all, he's a human. So it's not possible for him to give facilitated and personalized treatment to each and every patient he's seeing. That's where again AI comes in. AI has a larger database, has a larger memory, has a larger pool of information from where it can actually help out people. So that's how it is going to be providing treatment. Targeted operations, since AI will specifically target the area to operate on the
भैया
yeah.
I can't understand whether AI will like make the image or it will be like X-ray.
Okay, so X-ray will be done by the radiologist by a certain device, a certain instrument. So
Yes.
once the X-ray is done, now I will be, if I give an X-ray to you, you will obviously be able to see the X-ray and understand. For an example, let me just say, your probably you have a chest infection.
Hmm.
So once you have the chest infection, you go to a doctor. The doctor is not able to understand what is actually happening inside and does an X-ray. So the doctor sees the X-ray just as you see the X-ray, both with the naked eyes. The doctor obviously has more information about how to view an X-ray. But will he be able to understand if the problem is I am saying something deeper than normal thoracic cavity infection? If it is not the normal and the regular cough and cold, a doctor won't be able to justify that. He won't be able to see it just by looking at a near image. That's where AI is gonna come. You put the image it undergoes AI magnification and probably like AI works on it. It doesn't change the image. But if a doctor is able to understand 45% of the image, AI will be helping it to understand probably 90% or 95% of the image. That's where AI is gonna help. Am I clear?
Uh, yeah, I understand. Yeah, so basically they do the work of a radiologist.
they don't do the work of a radiologist, they help the radiologist, since a person can't be replaced by a robot or AI. But obviously a person can be helped by AI.
What are the
They
chances
use,
of it misdiagnosing?
I will be coming that into that soon.
Okay. Thank you, Bhaiya.
Yeah. Targeted operation, since AI will specifically target the area to operate on this, cutting the operation cost. So yeah, if the AI understands the thing much in a much deeper way than what a normal person is understanding, will obviously be able to operate on in a more deeper manner, and probably at the point where the thing is happening, thus checking out the problem in a much quicker manner than one will be able to do. Hello, you want to say something? Just when AI can accurately delineate structures of interest within medical images. So yeah, again, seeing a medical image and you won't be able to understand which is a blood vessel or which is a blood tumor or a cell or something like that. AI is going to help us there also, since the thing in AI will be put in from the beginning, so it will be pre-calculated within the AI.
हेलो
Hello.
हाँ सर पूछ रहा हूँ कि मतलब मैं लेट कोचिंग मतलब ज्वाइन किया हूँ ठीक
Okay.
तो ये मतलब ये क्या हो रहा है हमको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है थोड़ा
मैं तुम्हें लास्ट में बताऊं, जब क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन होगा तब मैं पूरा चीज को एक बार समराइज कर दूंगा.
ठीक थैंक्स
So how does AI function? Now this is where I will be getting in the persons who wanna probably have their future physics or mathematics interested. So AI, particular deep learning algorithm, has demonstrated remarkable capabilities in extracting valuable insights from medical images. So deep learning is a very deep concept, as the name suggests, which takes use of both physics and mathematics and also computer science to analyze something. I'll be just telling you what deep learning is. Obviously, it's a concept which is new and which is huge for me to standing in second year as an undergrad. So yeah, I'm obviously doing my research on deep learning. But yes, here I won't be forcing you all to go into deep learning, since if you as a student start going into deep learning, it will be taking a year or more to understand the basic thing of deep learning. So yeah, deep learning models training on large data sets are capable of recognizing complex patterns and images that may not be readily discernible to the human eye. These algorithms can even provide a new perspective about what image features should be valued to support decisions. Functions like how does AI function? That is what we are told here. The main function of AI is to check out the imaging modality, where the vast amount of data undergoes super efficient analysis and finally is interpreted by the doctors and radiologists. AI also helps and facilitates image segmentation and quantification, thus ultimately pacing up the medical work. Anyone got any doubts on any of the 5 points here? You want me to explain, or is it cool enough?
Can you explain the fourth point?
Fourth point, okay. The main function of AI is to check out the imaging modality, where the vast amount of data undergoes super efficient analysis. The vast amount of data, by the vast amount of data, we mean the data which we can access out from the image. So you do the imaging, there is a vast amount of data which is not possible for a human eye to decipher. So that is what undergoes analysis. It undergoes analysis through a model of the AI, in which the things, the minute details of each and everything, like how can, if this thing happens, then what will be the output? If that happens, what will be the thing? So these all are, like put in the AI initially while the building up is happening. So the image undergoes analysis and is interpreted by the doctors and radiologists and is probably given to the patient so that you being a person, the patient being a person from non-medical world can also be understanding the thing, the problem in a very much larger detail and as much as a novice would be understanding. Am I clear?
So, like if we make these large data sets which will train the AI, for example, we take the quantum model of different atoms and we input them, so we can also study quantum models.
Probably yes. You can actually study quantum models. Now see, quantum model studying is also something which AI helps us in model in medical world. Since understanding a cell would be requiring to go into its quantum depth, obviously
Yes.
won't be able to understand what is happening inside the cell or what is the problem of the cell. So as I said in cancer is basically the malignant and the unusual development of cells which we as humans can't stop. So obviously, if something is happening within a cell, we need to understand what is happening inside the cell to understand like how can this be diagnosed, and to understand what is happening inside the cell, which is probably few nanometers in size. We obviously would be needing a quantum models, like for example, to magnify the thing and to understand. That is why AI will be helping, which normal human thing won't be possible.
Yeah, I
Am I
understood. Yes, yes.
okay? Moving on. So this is basically the thing how AI will be helping you. So X-ray is a sort of imaging we all know. So this is basically X-ray, as you can see, as I gave the example, chest X-ray. So interpretability can be done in two ways. We all know text and visual. So you get this. So our aim is always to understand anything in two different ways. One is through visually and another is through text. Since if we are going fully textual, we won't be able to understand everything, and similarly goes for visuality. If we want to go with everything visual, we won't be able to understand everything. So what you do, you get out this X-ray, you put it inside this AI model, which undergoes again analysis, just bringing up information, analyzing things from more than 1 million data sets which have already been input or which are gradually being input in it as the thing is experimenting, as the thing is evolving with time. So you get direct two-way information from the AI model. First one is obviously, now if you look into this X-ray, can you say that the person is suffering from a 95% of tuberculosis? It isn't possible.
No, no.
Yeah. You want to say something?
Oh, she was just saying no.
Okay. Yeah, so it's correct. Will not be able to understand that the person is suffering from tuberculosis, and that too from 95% of tuberculosis. So first of all, my AI model is helping me to predict how much the person is suffering from and from what is it suffering from, and to make the radiologists and the doctors and gradually the patient understand the thing. What is it doing? It is giving me a visual explainability along with the textual explainability. Now the visual explainability basically shows me a heat map of how the person has what tuberculosis developed in him. So the red part shows the part which has been the most affected, and gradually as the heat map decreases, the lightest color shows the part least affected. So basically it is helping us in a simple manner. In a one line thing, it is helping the radiologist, it is helping the doctors, and it is helping ultimately the patient to understand what has happened inside him. Where can we incorporate AI? Different types of medical imaging, since my focus has been on medical imaging up here. CT is computed tomography scan, MRI is magnetic resonance imaging. You all are probably familiar with its terms. If you haven't studied them, you obviously have heard them or something like that. PET, positron imaging tomography, CXR is chest radiography, the one which is showed up here. This is basically chest radiography. Retinal imaging and scanning, when you go to an ophthalmologist for your eye checkup, they put your chin in some kind of device and they look into your eyeball with the light flashed in. That is basically retinal imaging and scanning. So you are not able to see the image of your retina, but the doctor is able to see it and diagnose you. Angiography and ECG is echocardiography. If you have seen it in movies or probably you have also seen it in a hospital, the curved and the probably mountain type lines which are formed in a machine, that is echocardiography, for understanding the heartbeat and things which are going on inside us. Next is, returning back to my domain, how mathematics and computing can help. People who are wanting to have a major in mathematics, or probably physics can also help you. Biology is always helping, and chemistry will also be helping in the medical part, the medicine part actually. So how mathematics and computing can help? I will be going under, since you all are probably preparing for ISER and NEST, so you need to study mathematics, obviously, at least for another year or so before you move on your career. So calculus is something which is considered to be one of the most important aspects of mathematics. So how does calculus help? How does this thing, which is very important in mathematics, help us in medical world? Image reconstruction algorithm. We all have probably done curve tracing and probably drawing of a hyperbola, parabola. Drawing of curves is known to everyone. So what do? You are given an equation. For an example, you are given a normal mathematical quadratic equation and you follow some rules and you are able to generate that curve on a graph paper or probably the rough sketch on a normal sheet. So that is basically what you are reconstructing or probably constructing the curve known from after undergoing its everything. So that is what happens here again. Image reconstruction algorithm, edge and feature detection. So if you, as you move forward in your course, you will obviously be coming up to volume, how calculus can be used to understand edges, to understand the features of images, to understand the volume. So that is what again, edge and feature detection, signal processing. It's, you have done the maximization and minimization of functions. So that is how you will be helping up with signal processing. Optimization problem, optimization again means either to maximize it or minimize it, and you all know how single differentiation, double differentiation helps us in optimizing something. Volume analysis and motion analysis, which is again possible by the use of integration. Statistics, people are here might be interested in statistics. Statistics is basically the mean, median,
Yeah,
mode. Yeah, say.
yeah. In this calculus, does differentiation also help?
Yeah, absolutely. देखो, अभी when you are going to do image reconstruction, मैंने तुम्हें जो normal example दिया for a graph, for a normal curve, let my curve be a quadratic equation. अभी तुम उस quadratic equation का maxima कहाँ पे है, minima कहाँ पे है, ये सब कब हम लोग निकाल पाएंगे? Whenever we are differentiating the function.
Yeah.
So you get how the simple things. For now, obviously, you might be thinking differentiation is a topic, integration is a topic, but you are very well seeing how these topics can literally help you save a life. Absolutely right. You
So
can
basically, they differentiate the image, then reconstruct it by integration.
yeah, that's what ultimately is done. Obviously, that's not what everything is done, but that is probably the backbone. That is how an image is reconstructed. Now, these all things happen within probably a fraction of milliseconds or probably a fraction of nanoseconds. So you put the image in the software of AI and you get the result. For example, if you see ChatGPT, you put something in ChatGPT, it answers you within a fraction of seconds, we should probably have taken 1 to 2 hours of research. Yeah, what is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is basically how AI functions. So you can very well see how normal day-to-day topics are helping us to, create a difference in the world.
Yes.
So statistics, many of you might be interested. So noise reduction and image enhancement, image reconstruction, segmentation. Segmentation is basically breaking up of the image into different smaller versions to analyze it in a better manner. Functional imaging, simulating image systems and quality control. Next is probability, again something which you will be doing as your ISER course. Image reconstruction, noise modeling and reduction, segmentation, detection, risk assessment. Everything will be taking the help of probability. The normal bias theorem. We will be doing bias theorem or probably, yeah, probability has been done, I guess. So if not, you will be doing bias theorem. You will be seeing how bias theorem, if you go deep into, obviously in class 11 and 12, you won't be taught how to use bias theorem to save a life. But yes, bias theorem is also very helpful. Machine learning, again, something to get the computer geeks interested at. Image classification, object detection, anomaly detection, radiomics, disease progression, automating workflow, synthetic data. So this is basically my aim in these two slides has been to show you how the most simplest of the things you would do in daily life can sum up to create something big in any segment of the world.
So,
Yeah.
can you tell me what machine learning is in brief? Like how it is different from AI and all?
Machine learning is basically in brief how machines work.
Okay, sir.
In simple, brief language, it is basically how machines function. Now, when you use a washing machine, for an example, or probably a television, you do not know what is going inside the television, or probably you do not know what is going inside your PC. So what the thing goes on inside your PC is basically machine. Your PC is ultimately a machine. You agree? So how the machine functions, that is what is machine learning. So for depth, this is what the basic idea is. For depth, you can research up further. I won't be stopping it since I always give you to research to, like using your innovative mind to research in any topic. Probably, obviously, you won't be able to do a large base amount of research on any topic, but yes, you can start researching. I really support researching. So you can actually study what machine learning is.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So next is I will be going on with some examples, a quick basis. So COVID-19 case, something which has, like revolted around the world, which has changed how we look at world or how world looks at us the past 5 years. It all started from 2020. Everything was closed up and all. It had created a big mess around the world. So yeah, how AI helped in the understanding of COVID-19. This is again probably a roadmap type of thing. After the first symptoms of COVID-19 were examined, it was indicating that the thoracic region of a person is mainly affected by the virus. We all know the chest and the nasal path is ultimately what is affected by the COVID-19 virus. The thoracic disease detection from chest radiographs using deep learning methods were carried out to find out what was actually the crux. How could it be possibly maneuvered? Yeah, I would agree. There are some terms which are probably out of your domain, like deep learning. You are obviously getting much hints of deep learning. So basically, I will be telling you what deep learning is. Before that, you can probably go quickly through this slide in 2 minutes and ask me if you want to know any particular point or something. Since I understand and I think that helping you all in deep learning is going to help you. Just go through it once. Gone through everyone?
1 minute भैया.
Yeah, sure.
भैया, what is this fourth point?
In contrast, experts, radiologists first located the prominent anatomical structures. That one.
Yeah.
Okay, so for that, I need to take you into a little deep. So basically, what the model tried to do was it helped expert radiologists locate the anatomical structures. Now, thoracic region is a big region, and the nasal cavity, the nasal, what should I say? The tract is also a big region. Now, there are millions of small structures inside the thoracic region. Now, what the previous models did was it attempted to focus on the thoracic region as a whole, since it wasn't able to find out what actually was the problem inside which part of the thoracic region. Since it wasn't able to do that, the models which came up afterwards, what it did, it helped expert radiologists first locate the prominent anatomical structures. Like if you do not know, I will be giving you a simple example. Now I will be saying you a small topic, for an example, any topic, and you know which chapter that topic is a part of. Now, if you want to make me understand like that topic, so just telling me it is of this chapter won't be enough. You need to tell me what is the backdrop of it or what is probably happening before it that this topic is arising. So that is what this model did, which other models weren't able to. Am I clear?
Yeah, I got the gist of it.
I am also just trying to make you understand the gist, since इसे समझने के लिए I need more time actually. Gone through, I hope. I will be changing on to the next slide.
Yes, भैया.
Medical emergency in the USA. This is also an example of how AI has helped. This is a case where problem was with the person's eye and how scanning and imaging and everything helped to understand what the problem going on was. And again, take it, look at it. Moving on. Yeah. Any doubts on the main screen?
मेरे को है.
बोलो.
भैया, ये अब इसमें जो रिसोर्सेज लगेंगे उनकी कॉस्ट क्या है? मतलब ये कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव है?
कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव. अभी देखो, इनिशियली तो एक कॉस्ट लगेगा, जो फॉर एग्जांपल मैं बोलूं, इनिशियली जो कॉस्ट लगेगा दैट इज अ गुड अमाउंट. आई कंप्लीटली अग्री. एक अच्छा खासा अमाउंट तुम्हें लगेगा, मतलब पूरे सिस्टम को लाने के लिए, टू inculcate deep learning facilities, to inculcate everything into the AI model before it can actually act upon.
हाँ, और इसके
But
ऑपरेटर्स भी लगेंगे.
ऑपरेटर्स भी लगेंगे. आई एब्सोल्युटली अंडरस्टैंड. बट अगर ये तुम्हें ना लगे, फॉर एग्जांपल मैं तुम्हें बोलूं कि यू वांट टू सेव मनी, तो तुम फॉर एग्जांपल मैं तुम्हें नॉर्मल चीजों से, अगर फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर सफरिंग, नॉट यू, a person is suffering from a life threatening disease, say cancer, stage 4 cancer or stage 3 cancer. अभी अगर उस पे मैं सिंपल सा स्कैन करके अगर उसे बता दूं कि आप ये मेडिकेशन ले लीजिए, आप इसका इसमें प्रॉब्लम है, उसमें प्रॉब्लम है, यू टेक दिस मेडिसिन, यू गो अंडर कीमोथेरेपी एंड फिर ठीक हो जाएगा। एवरीथिंग बेस्ड अपॉन अ सिंगल स्कैन व्हिच just sees where the cancer is. What will be the final result? What can be the final result in 80% of the cases? क्योंकि stage 3 is a tough case. The person will be dying.
Yeah.
And we obviously any amount of money cannot satisfy or cannot be probably, you know, replacing
Life.
death or life. It can't.
Yeah.
Obviously अभी अगर मैं उसका फैमिली में उसका डेथ हुआ है, अभी मैं उसका फैमिली को अगर बोल दूं यू टेक दिस ₹1 crore from the hospital's team as a remuneration and take jobs I am providing to your family, obviously this much won't be sufficient since it's the life and death of a person.
Yeah.
अगर मैं इसी पैसे से like I am ready to offer ₹1 crore to the person to probably just justify his life. Why won't I spend, or why can't I spend the same thing to establish the model so that it is able to save millions of crores and millions of lives?
Yeah. बट भैया ये इतना अच्छा वो है इनिशिएटिव, बट अभी तक ये ऑल ओवर इंडिया हुआ नहीं है, तो कहीं ना कहीं तो पैसों की वजह से ही गवर्नमेंट ने सारे गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स में ये नहीं किया हो।
हाँ, गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स में नहीं किया है, डेफिनेटली अग्री है, एब्सोल्युटली अग्री, और प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स में किया है। द कॉस्ट फिलहाल के लिए इट इज कॉस्टली, आई डैम एग्री विद यू। इसी के लिए हमारा गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रहा है हमारे को, it is providing up skills, it is providing up money to the government hospitals. So how you understand AI, you understand machine learning, you understand what is going on, you understand how the things are being done, and you set it up so that you do not need to play with lives of a person. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, I definitely agree कि अभी तुम्हारे इसमें it is costly, but कुछ ही सालों में the cost is going to decrease as far as I have researched, क्योंकि Indian government, the medical government, I mean the medical part of the government is focusing on research, is focusing on AI, is focusing on medical AI.
So yeah, is it one time cost?
Didn't get you. Didn't get you. Good once more.
Yeah. Is it one time cost?
Yes, it is one time cost.
So one time investment है, उसके बाद सिर्फ ऑपरेटर्स के लिए वो देना है
Absolutely. अभी obviously तुम अगर चाहते हो कोई भी चीज तो रुक नहीं जाती है, you can improve, you can change out the data sets. The data set मतलब पता है क्या है, मैं तुम्हें एक सिंपल थोड़ा शॉर्ट में आपको बता देता हूँ. So what is data set? Data set is basically when you are developing the model, तुम क्या करते हो, ऐसे जितने भी वर्ल्ड वाइड या फिर एक पर्टिकुलर रीजन में जितने भी ऐसे केसेस हुए हैं, वो सब केसेस को क्या करते हो, यू टेक आउट द केसेस, यू टेक आउट द डायग्नोसिस एंड यू पुट इट इन द एआई मॉडल।
अच्छा।
ताकि जब ये मॉडल किसी के ऊपर मतलब किसी इमेज का स्कैन करे, अगर कोई पिछले जैसा कुछ हो, मतलब अभी भी अगर मैं तुम्हें बोलूं कि तुम ये चीज पढ़े थे पिछले क्लास में, तो तुम मुझे अभी बताओ, ऑब्वियसली तुम थोड़ा बहुत सोच के बता पाओगे, सिंपल सा बात है। अभी अगर मैं तुम्हें बोलूं कि कॉलेज के फर्स्ट ईयर में क्या पढ़ाया जा रहा है, तुम मुझे वो बताओ, तुम वो थोड़ी बता पाओगे, नहीं बता पाओगे। सो इट कलेक्ट्स इंफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम प्रीवियस एक्सपीरियंसेस, then it uses to smoothen the way things are happening. So yeah, it is a one-time cost. You can obviously make it better. You can obviously change out the data sets, but data sets changing के लिए उतना amount of cost नहीं चाहिए।
अच्छा, एंड भैया ये आप एक चीज बता सकते हो कि ये कॉलेज में हमारे को मैथ्स की प्रैक्टिकल एप्लीकेशन सिखाएंगे, अभी तो क्या है, अभी सिर्फ 12th है, मार्क्स, थ्योरेटिकल नॉलेज, मजा ही नहीं आता मैथ्स पढ़ने में जो पहले आता था।
पता है नहीं आएगा मजा, क्लास 11th 12th में एक्चुअली मजा नहीं आएगा। बट पता है क्यों मजा नहीं आता? क्योंकि हम लोगों को चीजें सही से पढ़ाई नहीं चलती। मैथ्स इज अ डैम इंटरेस्टिंग सब्जेक्ट, वरना ऑब्वियसली लोग मैथ्स को लेके बहुत ऊपर तक जाते हैं। मुझे भी तो शौक है, आई वांट टू डू माय रिसर्च इन मैथमेटिक्स। सो मैथ्स को पढ़ाया नहीं जाता है उस वे में ताकि 11 12 के बच्चों को मैथ्स इंटरेस्टिंग लगे। बट यस, कॉलेज में जब आओगे, मॉडल्स, यू नो, वेरियस मॉडल्स हैं जो सिंपल से मतलब नॉर्मल एडिशन ऑफ टू नंबर्स को भी इतने इंटरेस्टिंग वे में सिखा देते हैं कि तुम्हें लगता है कि तुम उसे छोड़कर कहीं जाओ ही ना। सो इंडिया मैथ्स इज डैम इंटरेस्टिंग, कॉलेज में अच्छे से सिखाया भी जाता है।
तो इसलिए पढ़ लेता हूँ फिर।
पढ़ लो, नो डाउट अबाउट दैट। लेकिन मैं ये चीज सबको कहना चाहूंगा, लाइक ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स, कि तुम लोग अपने रेगुलर डे टू डे पढ़ाई के साथ choose any particular domain of your interest and do out slow research। like थोड़ा बहुत करके एवरी डे 15 से 20 मिनट तो हम लोग मोबाइल पे बिता देते हैं या फिर सोशल मीडिया पे बिता देते हैं। तो उसको हम लोग निकाल के why don't we actually do on something fruitful। like अगर फॉर एन एग्जांपल मैं अगर किसी को बोलूं कि तुम्हारा इंटरेस्ट है फाइनेंस में, so you keep on reading papers on finance, से पढ़ो ताकि तुम्हारे अंदर नया चीज, यू गेट न्यू आइडियाज ऑफ इवॉल्विंग। क्योंकि अभी सिर्फ बुकिश नॉलेज मैं मानता हूं एक चीज है, यू नीड बुक्स टू स्कोर मार्क्स, नो डाउट अबाउट दैट। बट व्हाट इज दैट, तुम्हारा क्या होता है, तुम जब भी किसी रिसर्च पेपर या ऐसे कोई चीजों को पढ़ते हो ना, यू गेट डिफरेंट आइडियाज टू सॉल्व अ प्रॉब्लम। से अभी कोई नॉर्मल प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए तुम्हारे पास एक या दो मेथड होंगे, तब तुम्हारे पास आइडियाज बहुत ज्यादा आते हैं कि हम लोग इसको अगर ऐसे भी अप्रोच करें तो तब भी हो सकते हैं, उसको अगर वैसे अप्रोच करें तो तब भी हो सकते हैं।
जी।
So I want you all, like not only you all, I want the whole student community at Sciastra to undergo research papers कि पढ़ो, like अपना कोई एक इंटरेस्ट उठाओ। जेनेटिक्स ह्यूज डोमेन है, अभी जो पढ़ रहे हो वो तो 1% भी नहीं है, बहुत बड़ा डोमेन है। लाइक लोग रिसर्च करते हैं, लोगों को नोबेल प्राइज मिलता है जेनेटिक्स पे काम करने के लिए। पढ़ो उसे, नहीं समझ में आएगा, जो सब नहीं समझ में आए, रीड दैट। कुछ चीजें तो है जो एकदम बेसिक्स है जो समझ में आएगा, सो रीड दैट।
थैंक यू भैया।
वेलकम। किसी और को एनी क्वेश्चन? एनीवन? Anyone any question, guys? Okay, so how was the session overall? कैसा लगा तुम लोगों को? Did you like it? थोड़ा हटके है तुम लोग के यूजुअल पढ़ाई से।
ये तो नहीं बोलूंगा पूरा समझ आया, बट 80% आ गया समझ।
कैसा लगा तुम सबको? एवरीवन?
अच्छा लगा भैया।
Okay then. Thank you everyone. I will be taking your leave for now, but yes, it's a big domain. तुम लोग भी अगर चाहते हो तो you can actually research on medical AI. काफी बड़ा सा एरिया है मेडिकल AI।
हाँ भैया, आपको भी ऑल द बेस्ट अपनी रिसर्च के लिए।
थैंक यू। तुम लोगों को भी अपने ड्रीम कॉलेज को पाने के लिए ऑल द बेस्ट।
भैया आइजर तो सिर्फ एक वो स्टेपिंग स्टोन है, मेन तो ड्रीम है।
हाँ, ड्रीम के लिए तो तुम्हें आइजर जाना पड़ेगा ना। टू फॉलो दैट ड्रीम यू नीड टू गो टू आइजर।
मोटिवेशन आ गई पढ़ने की। थैंक यू
Okay
भैया।
then, I will be taking your leave. Yeah, thank you. It was nice
बाय
sharing my
बाय।
experiences with you all. Okay then, bye everyone.